Hey everybody, welcome back to another video today. In today's video, we're going to be doing yet another NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2022 predictions video. And yes, I know I've done this a couple times before, and 2 times in fact, but I decided to do another one because my mind keeps changing up these predictions every single day. And now I've waited till the actual race today, the first race of the round of 16 begins, and Cup 5 hours from now, so this is good timing to have a final choice and just make it, legit. And yeah, let's start. First up, you got Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick has been making Richard Childress look like a god this year. Compared to his teammate Austin Dillon in the early parts of the season, Reddick has turned the organization around, and honestly, quite honestly, they've not been this good since 2013 with Harvick, and Reddick has somewhat brought them back to that glory. But knowing that he's going to betray Richard Childress and go over to Toyota, and even more downgrade from Richard Childress because that team has not been around for a while. So this is only their second season, and they're swapping around drivers for literally nothing, for literally no reason. So yeah, you got Reddick. He got 2 wins this season. One at Road America, which that track doesn't even exist anymore in Cup. And then you got the Indy Road Course, where that's where all hell broke loose. And then go on to Chase Briscoe. Chase Briscoe only has 1 win this season. Might be his only career win, unless if he pulls another one out of his ass, and that's at Phoenix. Briscoe has been putt-putting around all season. You could blame and argue that Stewart Haas equipment, but Harvick has really turned the organization around a bit and got them 2 back-to-back wins 2 to 3 weeks ago. But Briscoe, ever since that Phoenix win, has done jack all. He's not been consistent. He hasn't got a top 10 in somewhat 10 races or something. And going into the Chase, I don't expect him to do much. He's not Tyler Reddick levels. So yeah. Then you go on to Daniel Suarez, which is, I'd say, your Cinderella story of the year. Suarez got that finally his first career win at Sonoma after all these years of BS after BS. First starting with Joe Gibbs being rushed in the Cup, with Carl Edwards unexpectedly retiring, not doing much in those first 2 seasons, and he gets let go for no reason to Stewart Haas Racing, and he doesn't make the Chase like what he did with Joe Gibbs, and he gets let go for Cole Custer, who hasn't done anything since Kentucky, in fact, for 2020, and then he goes over to Gunt Brothers Racing, where, we don't talk about that time because that was just pathetic, but he had some beautiful paint schemes, and we got a die cast made in exchange, so that's cool. And then you go over to Trackhouse in 2021, still was anticlimactic, but then 2022, in his 6th season, 5th year in Cup, he finally gets out and breaks through and wins that win, and is the first international NASCAR Cup driver to win a Cup race since Marcos Ambrose Watkins Glen 2012, after doing it out with Brad Keselowski and Kyle Busch. And speaking of Kyle Busch, we go on over to the 18 car. Kyle Busch has had an interesting year, to say the least. He only has 1 win to his credit, and that's at Bristol Dirt, where Briscoe decided it was very necessary to turn Reddick to try to win the race, and screwed himself over in the process. So that's how Busch won that race, and that could be very well his only win of the season. If it weren't for Briscoe screwing over Reddick blatantly, trying to go for the win, even though we know that wouldn't have worked, Busch would have still been winless this season, and we would have had a 2020 season repeat on replay. So yeah, I don't expect Busch to do much. Plus, these contract negotiations are getting in his head and getting to his mind, and he's not been performing as good as we should expect him to. Then we go on to Joey Logano. What can I say about this guy? I'm just tired of him, dude. He has 2 anticlimactic wins this year, to sadly his credit, by punting Byron in the wall for literally no reason after Byron raced him hard for the first time. It's Darlington's too tough to tame, and Logano was too butthurt that Byron was racing him hard for the lead, might I add. So yeah, just had to put him in the wall and just screw over him blatantly. And then he goes and wins at Gateway, which that race was just freaking horrendous. The only good parts of that trash race was Michael McDowell leading laps. Anyways, Gateway is not Cup levels ready, it should be only for trucks, I guess. But this is their only first year, so I'll give them some credit. But also, he won that LA Coliseum Clash race, which I don't know why people are saying that's a good race. It was not. It was trash. Nothing good came out of it. The only good parts were the duels. Then you go over to Ross Chastain, who has also 2 wins to his credit this season. First at Coda, which he actually deserved, might I add. He deserved that win, fair and square. And then you go on to Talladega, which I'll admit that was kind of a backing into a win, because, you know, Eric Jones had the lead, had the thing won in the 43 car, but, you know, what happened? Larson tried to make a move, and that screwed over Jones, and that's how Chastain got the win. So, and Chastain has not done much, but still is consistent. Yes, he made some rivals, but I'm pretty sure they should be over it by now. Hamlin got his quote-unquote payback at fucking Pocono, so he shouldn't be still obsessing and worrying about freaking having a double standard payback on Chastain. So he should be over it by now, and I expect Chastain. And let me just say that he nearly won a Atlanta race in the summer if they didn't throw out the caution for, you know, Chase Elliott making the bad block on LaJoie. He almost won that, I don't know, race at Michigan or Richmond, but due to pit stop strategy, him and Suarez were fucked over basically, and yeah. Then you go on to Byron, who should have won that Darlington race, but Logano said, "You don't want to mess with me, boy." Oh, God. Byron has 2 wins this season. He won at Atlanta earlier this season in the springtime, and won at Martinsville, which that race provided no excitement whatsoever in the grand scheme of things, and I'm quite nervous of when we go back there. Hopefully it's different, and hopefully it's not a shit show like it was in the spring. But Byron should have won that race at Darlington, and should be still somewhat relevant in this season so far right now. And I have a conspiracy theory that Logano fucked Byron just over and over and over again, and just that's what screwed over his season, is that pussy bitch move at Darlington. And then you go on to Kevin Harvick, and Kevin Harvick is an interesting story this season, to say the least. Harvick was a no-show coming into this season. He was outside the chase, that somehow he pulled 2 back-to-back wins out of his ass, might I add, and he was able to finally keep up with the big dogs from this season. And he's got into the chase. So not much to say about Harvick there. And then we go on to Austin Dillon. Let's just say Austin Dillon needed this win to save his career, because the last 2 seasons have been pure shit for Dillon. He's not found any success whatsoever. Not in Xfinity, not in trucks, none of that crap. He's not found any success. His last win came 2 years ago at Texas, before he broke through and won at Daytona. And people could call that a Mickey win all they want, but I don't care what they say. He needed that win, and I'd say he deserved it. During the red flag, he didn't think of winning. He thought of getting back in the car, and that's a real fucking racer we got. So yeah, he deserves that win. I don't care. And to all those Cindric fans out there that are saying that he shouldn't have done that, remember 2017 when Cindric said that Kaz Grosjean already had a win to this season? Well, Austin Dillon did the exact same thing that he did to Austin Cindric, but this time not spinning him out, and Cindric was able to come back and get 3rd fucking place. So there's nothing to complain about, guys. There's nothing to complain about. Then we go on to Christopher Bell, and he's like the somewhat only decent Joe Gibbs driver from this season. Kyle Busch has been a no-show. Hamlin's had the worst season of his Cup career, basically, and Truex missed the chase. Bell is the only somewhat decent driver from Joe Gibbs, like I said, that will probably get far into the chase. Has that 1 win at New Hampshire, thanks to Chase Elliott just giving up and giving the win away. But yeah, before that, Bell had a horrendous start to the season, was like 30th in points. So yeah, then we go on to Kyle Larson, and Kyle Larson, people are saying that he's having a championship hangover season. No, he's not, bitch. No, he's not. That's what you expected you would get out of him last season. So, And why would you expect him to get another 10 wins, especially with the next gen car, which he finally starting to figure out. You know, he got that win earlier at Auto Club by putting his teammate in the wall or something. I don't know, by fucking over Chase, but that was by spotter error, so no fault to the driver. And then he goes out to Watkins Glen, and he drives deep in the corner and also screws Chase. But this time Chase Elliott didn't lose it on Larson, even though he probably did want to. And also Larson should have won the Coke 600, but thanks to Briscoe being another fucking piece of shit, having to make a move that cannot work, he screwed himself and Larson out of the win. Terrific, Briscoe, terrific. Yeah. Then we're going to Austin Cindric, who's won the Daytona 500 this year. Austin Cindric has done not that much this season. He's had a few good moments at road courses and several tracks, but he's been putting around mostly Logano, and if he's even lucky, he might get a top 10 place finish. Got a top 5 at Indy road courses. That's all you can ask for, guys. He raced Brett clean, thankfully. Didn't punt him out of the way because he has 2 wins. So yeah, Cindric has matured, but to my point, Cindric has not performed Brad Keselowski levels, and of course you could not expect that from a rookie. And after all, Cindric is your Daytona 500 champion, and that could be very well his only season this year, win this season, unless if he gets to the round of 12, or he might put up a show. Then you go on to Denny Hamlin, who I said earlier who's having a horrendous piece of shit season. Only has 2 wins to his season. One was at Richmond due to pit crew strategy, and the other was at Charlotte, which was complete fluke because everyone died on the backstretch. You know, Austin Dillon could have won that race, but decided to turn himself out and fuck Larson and Chastain in the process. So yeah, at least Stenos got a top 10 in that exchange as well with McDowell, but still a shit finish, but good race. And he goes on to win Pocono, but was DQ'd for a piece of Scotch tape. But he's not been as good as we should expect him to be. Remember last year he wasn't winning races, but was up there battling for Larson for the regular season championship title. Well, this year he was nowhere close. He's 24th in points probably. I don't know. And Ryan Blaney shouldn't even be in the chase right now. He has 0 wins to his credit, and if it weren't for Kurt Busch and Toyota screwing over Kurt for no reason, forcing him to give up his chase spot when it should have been obviously Kurt's choice, that screwed 2 Toyota drivers out of the chase, and thanks to Austin Dillon winning, that would have knocked out Blaney out of the chase. So he technically got into the chase with this piece of shit format by default. So yeah. Do I expect Blaney to do much from this round? I don't fucking know. Then you go on to Bowman. Bowman's not been good this season, to say the least. He's not been 2021 levels of success. He only has 1 win at Las Vegas, which was all the way back in March or February. I don't remember. But he only has 1 win this season in that atrocious piece of shit Allied paint scheme that, God, I hope to God they change out that scheme, because that thing is a headache. And then you go on to the, obviously, the favorite from this season, Chase Elliott. He's the only driver who has surpassed 3 official wins. He actually has 4. And he's obviously the favorite. He has the speed. He's finished 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Like 7 races in a row. How can you call that Mickey? That's talent, dude. That's talent. And yes, you can argue that he didn't deserve Nashville, Atlanta, or Pocono. Pocono he didn't deserve because he didn't lead a single lap. Atlanta, Corey LaJoie said it was a good block, and pretty much Elliott dominated that race, so what's your excuse? And Nashville, you know, that there should have been a caution really, but you know, to NASCAR's defense, they wanted the race to end because it was surpassing midnight. That race has been chaotic to say the least. So yeah, so there you got it. There's your round of 16. Now let's see who's gonna move on to the round of 12. Oh, God help us all. You got Ross Chastain moving on to the round of 12. Tyler Reddick, of course. Harvick, Larson, Suarez will move on to the round of 12. Bell, Chase Elliott, Logano, sadly, Cendric, Austin Dillon. Don't forget, guys, that he's had when he got in the chase in 2020, he's had a remarkable performance in the first couple races. So don't count him out. Who else? Trying to think here. This is hard. This is a hard choice. I guess you could say Kyle Busch will move on. And who should be the last driver? I guess Hamlin. So there's your round of 16 eliminations. Sorry to any of the fans. I'll explain the reason why. Briscoe, like I said, he's been inconsistent. Byron hasn't been the same since May. Blaney doesn't even have a win. I don't know if he'll stand because technically he shouldn't even be in the chase, but he got in, thankfully. But I don't know if I could see him doing anything in the chase because remember 2020, that season was horrendous. And this is like a slump from his last season where he got 3 wins and he only has that all-star race win, a non-points paying race because of NASCAR deciding to try and fuck Blaney over for Denny Hamlin or try for just Stenhouse kissing the fucking wall. And plus, Blaney, it was on the final lap. Why did they restart the race? I don't even know. Restart. I don't know. And Bowman, has not been the same since, God, 5 months ago. So here's your round of 12. Let's see who'll move on to the round of 8. God help us all. You got Harvick moving on. Chase, Larson, Chastain, Reddick. Who else? Christopher Bell. Logano again, sadly. That's 7 people. We gotta choose one more. And, I guess Austin Cindric. Now, here's my reasonings why I don't think Suarez will move on. Because, he's been lacking behind, Ross Chastain this whole season. He got that win at Sonoma. Got the other track house, their first career win with the 99 car since 2014 with Carl Edwards at that same exact track. I think on the same day, but Suarez has not really been consistent this season as well with Dillon. Dillon just getting past the first round would be incredible, which I'm predicting he will because remember 2020. Kyle Busch, has been a step down this season from the last few seasons. He has not been the same since 2019. Denny Hamlin has had a shit season, so I don't see him getting past the round of 12. So here's your round of 8. Let's see who'll get into the championship 4. Oh, good God. Chase Elliott will get in the the final 4. Who else? Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, and Kevin Harvick. Now I'll explain why that I put Christopher Bell in the finals. Ross Chastain has had a remarkable season so far, but I don't think I know I said in the last video that he'll win the title, but I've changed up my mind because Chastain has not really been consistently good on a weekly basis, but overall, he might have surprised me, but still a round of 8 is still great. Same with Tyler Reddick, who's been more consistent than Chastain has been. So, yeah, I expect Reddick to also get a good run from this year and make Richard Childress Racing look great again before he ditches them for 23XI Racing. You got Logano. I don't see him making it to the final 4 this year because these 4 seem actually legit. And then you got Cindric, which would be 4 so far-fetched to see him make the final 4. I mean, it could happen, but anyways, a round of 8 would still be very damn impressive for a rookie, to say the least. So, yeah. let's move on to the Final Four, and who will be the champion? The champion will obviously be Chase. I've changed my mind back up to Chase Elliott. And I mean, look at his stats from this year. This dude has been on fire this year. He's the only driver who's even considered the favorite. Everyone else is the contenders. Chase Elliott's considered the favorite. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Chase Elliott fan, so get out with that logic. I'm just saying that Chase Elliott is the legit odd favorite to win the title. And he's having a much better season than he did in 2020. So there's that. And Chase Elliott, here's what I expect the Final Four would be by position. First would be Chase, second would be Larson, third would be Bell, and fourth would be Harvick. Also for Bell, making the Final Four would be also very incredible for Bell, because remember last year he wasn't that good, so he could pull that out of his ass and get far into the chase, but I still have Chase overall as a champion. I flip-flop around from, Chastain to Chase, but Chase doesn't have a target on his back like Chastain does, so that's why I changed it up my mind. I mean, all of these predictions could be false. They could, because with how the season has been, this could all be flopped around, and I don't know, Austin Dillon could win the championship, or Daniel Suarez, or I don't know, Byron could pull one out of his ass. But I hope you get what I mean there. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy it, please make sure to give it a like, thumbs up, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, comment down below of if you agree with my predictions or not. Please don't be toxic or rude about it. Please be civil in the comments. And anyways, I'll see you next time. Peace. Please make sure to also subscribe. Bye.